You already know what happens tonight. The lights go off, the world gets quiet, and your mind gets loud. Suddenly you're analyzing every word you said today, every decision you made, every possible disaster waiting for you tomorrow, all while the clock mocks you with each passing hour of lost sleep. This is your nightly ritual, isn't it? The overthinking, the worrying, the mental gymnastics that leave you drained before your day even begins. You've tried to stop it, tried reasoning with yourself, distracting yourself, even accepting it, but the thoughts keep coming like waves you can't escape, and you're tired of drowning. But here's what the ancient Stoics understood that we've forgotten. Worry is not something that happens to you. It's something you do. And because it's something you do, you can stop doing it. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, battled the same demons you're facing. He lay awake in his imperial chambers, burdened not by external threats, but by the weight of his own thoughts. Yet he discovered something profound, 7 practices that transformed his relationship with worry entirely. These weren't complex philosophical theories requiring years of study. They were simple, practical habits that redirected his mental energy from destructive patterns to constructive living. Today, nearly 2,000 years later, these same habits can free you from the prison of overthinking. They won't eliminate challenges from your life, but they'll teach you something far more valuable: how to stop torturing yourself about them. If you're ready to take control of your mind, type "I'm ready" in the comments below. Let's explore these 7 Stoic habits together. Habit 1. The first and most foundational Stoic habit is learning to distinguish between what you control and what you don't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This simple distinction is the master key that unlocks freedom from worry. Think about what's consuming your mental energy right now. Are you worried about what someone thinks of you? That's outside your control. Are you anxious about whether you'll get the job, the promotion, the approval you're seeking? Outside your control. Are you overthinking a past mistake, replaying it endlessly? Also, outside your control, the past is sealed. Here's what is in your control: your thoughts, your responses, your effort, your character, your intentions. That's it. That's the complete list, and it's enough. When you catch yourself spiraling into worry, pause and ask yourself this precise question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, practice this Stoic response. This is not mine to carry. Then deliberately redirect your mental energy toward what you can influence: your preparation, your attitude, your next action. Let me give you a real scenario. You have a presentation tomorrow and you're catastrophizing about all the ways it could go wrong. The audience's reaction, not in your control. Whether they approve, not in your control. Technical difficulties, not in your control. But your preparation, your practice, your ability to stay present and authentic, these are entirely yours. The Stoics didn't practice this distinction to become passive or indifferent. They practiced it to become effective. When you stop wasting energy on what you cannot change, you suddenly have tremendous power to focus on what you can. Your worry doesn't disappear because life becomes easier. It disappears because you stop asking your mind to solve unsolvable problems. This is the foundation. Master this, and the other habits become infinitely easier. Habit 2. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Not as a suggestion, as a command. Because here's the truth that will change everything. Worry only exists in 2 places that don't actually exist: the past, which is gone, and the future, which hasn't arrived. Right now, in this present moment, are you okay? Stop and actually check. Right now. Not in the story you're telling yourself about what might happen tomorrow or what happened yesterday. Right here, right now. Are you safe? Are you breathing? Do you have what you need in this moment? The answer is almost always yes. The present moment is rarely as terrible as the stories we tell ourselves about it. Seneca observed, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your mind time travels to painful pasts and feared futures, and it drags your body's stress response along for the ride. Your heart races, your stomach knots, your muscles tense, not because of what's happening, but because of what you're thinking about. Here's how you practice this habit practically. When you notice yourself worrying, bring yourself back with sensory awareness. What do you see right now? What do you hear? What do you feel against your skin? This isn't distraction, it's relocation. You're bringing your awareness back to the only place where life actually happens. Try this exercise daily. Set aside 5 minutes where your only job is to be completely present. Not meditating on a concept, not trying to achieve anything, just noticing what's here. The weight of your body in the chair, the rhythm of your breath, the sounds in your environment. This trains your mind to recognize that the present moment is your home and everything else is a story. When you're tempted to project into an uncertain future, remember this Stoic truth. You don't have to figure out next month right now. You only have to take the next right step. This moment is the only moment that requires your attention. This moment is the only moment where you have any power. Habit 3. Marcus Aurelius discovered something revolutionary. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, not the quality of your circumstances, the quality of your thoughts about those circumstances. This is cognitive distancing, and it's perhaps the most practical tool in the Stoic toolkit. Your thoughts are not facts, they're interpretations, and interpretations can be questioned. When a worrying thought appears, "I'm going to fail. Everyone will judge me. This is a disaster." The untrained mind accepts it as reality. The Stoic mind examines it like a scientist examining a specimen. Here's the practice. When a thought creates anxiety, write it down. Then ask 3 questions. First, is this thought true? Not does it feel true, is it true? Can you prove it with evidence, or is it speculation dressed up as fact? Second, is this thought helpful? Even if there's a grain of truth in it, is rehearsing it improving your life, or simply torturing you? Third, what would I tell a friend who had this thought? We're often far kinder and more rational with others than with ourselves. Let's apply this to a real worry. The thought, if I speak up in the meeting, I'll say something stupid and everyone will think I'm incompetent. Is this true? No. It's a prediction about an uncertain future based on fear, not evidence. Is it helpful? Absolutely not. It's preventing you from contributing and growing. What would you tell a friend? Probably something like, "You have valuable insights, and even if you stumble, one awkward moment doesn't define your competence." The Stoics called this examining your impressions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Today I escaped anxiety," or "No, I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside." Your thoughts create your worry, which means you have the power to dismantle that worry by questioning the thoughts that built it. You're not dismissing real concerns. You're refusing to let unchallenged thoughts tyrannize your peace. Habit 4. This might seem counterintuitive, but stay with me. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. And paradoxically, it's one of the most powerful tools for reducing anxiety, not increasing it. Here's why it works. Most worry comes from the fear of the unknown. Your mind conjures vague, shapeless disasters and then recoils in horror from shadows it created. But when you deliberately imagine the worst-case scenario in concrete detail, two things happen. The monster loses its power, and you discover you could handle it. Seneca wrote, "The mind that is anxious about future events is miserable," but he also taught that the cure for this anxiety is to look directly at what you fear, not to dwell in misery, but to see that you would survive it. Try this practice. Take whatever you're worrying about and ask, what's the absolute worst that could happen? Then go deeper. If that worst case came true, what would you do? How would you cope? What resources would you draw on? Who would help you? Map out a realistic response. Here's an example. You're anxious about a job interview. Worst case? You don't get the job. Okay, then what? You'd be disappointed, sure, but you'd apply elsewhere. You'd learn from the experience. You'd continue with your current situation while seeking other opportunities. You'd survive. The catastrophe your mind painted, the one where your entire future crumbles, suddenly becomes a manageable setback. This practice doesn't make you paranoid. It makes you resilient. When you've mentally rehearsed difficulty, it loses its power to ambush you. You've already looked it in the eye and discovered you're stronger than it is. The Stoics weren't trying to manifest negativity. They were inoculating themselves against the shock of misfortune. When you're not surprised by difficulty, you can face it with clarity rather than panic. And most of the time, you'll discover that what actually happens is far less severe than what you imagined. Habit 5. The Stoics understood something modern comfort seekers have forgotten. You can't build resilience by avoiding difficulty. Marcus Aurelius, despite his wealth and power, deliberately practiced voluntary discomfort. He slept on a hard couch. He fasted. He exposed himself to cold, not because he enjoyed suffering, but because he was training his mind to handle it. When you constantly avoid discomfort, every minor difficulty feels catastrophic. Your window of tolerance shrinks. A delayed flight becomes a crisis. A critical email feels like the end of the world. But when you deliberately choose small discomforts, you expand your capacity to handle big ones. You prove to yourself that discomfort won't destroy you. This habit directly combats overthinking because overthinking is often an attempt to avoid potential discomfort. You replay conversations obsessively to avoid the discomfort of uncertainty. You catastrophize to avoid the discomfort of being blindsided. But when you've proven you can handle discomfort, you stop needing these mental gymnastics. Here's how to practice this practically. Start small. Take a cold shower. Wake up 30 minutes earlier than necessary. Have a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Sit with boredom instead of immediately reaching for your phone. Exercise past the point of comfort. Fast from something you depend on for comfort. The goal isn't masochism, it's anti-fragility. Every time you voluntarily embrace discomfort, you send your nervous system a message. We can handle this. Your confidence grows not from positive affirmations, but from evidence. You've done hard things. You can do hard things. The Stoics called this training. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show us who we are, but more importantly, deliberately chosen difficulties show us who we can become." When real adversity arrives, and it will, you won't spiral into panic because you've already practiced being uncomfortable. You've rehearsed resilience. Stop seeking a life without discomfort. Start building a self that can handle anything. That's where true peace lives, not in perfect circumstances, but in unshakable character. Habit 6. Marcus Aurelius practiced a powerful mental exercise he called the view from above. When problems overwhelmed him, he would imagine zooming out, seeing himself from above, then his city, then his empire, then the entire earth, then the cosmos. This radical perspective shift transformed mountains back into molehills. Your problems feel enormous because you're standing too close to them. They fill your entire field of vision. But when you zoom out, you see them in proper proportion. The argument that's consuming you? On a cosmic scale, it's a brief fluctuation in one relationship among billions. The mistake you're obsessing over? In 5 years, will it matter? In 10? In 100? This isn't about diminishing genuine problems. It's about seeing them accurately. When you're trapped in worry, your perspective collapses. The present moment feels eternal. This job, this relationship, this situation feels like your entire world. But it isn't. It's one chapter in a much longer story, one moment in a vast timeline. Practice this habit when worry grips you. Close your eyes and imagine rising above yourself. See yourself sitting there, concerned about this problem. Rise higher. See your building, your neighborhood, your city. See the millions of other people in their own lives, dealing with their own concerns. Rise higher still. See your country, your continent, the earth, spinning in space. See the billions of years that came before you and the billions that will come after. From this view, your problem doesn't disappear, but it becomes proportional. You gain what the Stoics called cosmic perspective. Your challenges remain real, but they no longer consume your entire reality. You remember that you're part of something much larger, and that this moment, as intense as it feels, is temporary. This practice doesn't make you detached or uncaring. It makes you clear-headed. When you can see your life from above, you make better decisions. You stop drowning in the immediate and start navigating with wisdom. You trade panic for perspective, and perspective is peace. Habit 7. Memento mori. Remember you will die. Of all Stoic practices, this is the most misunderstood and the most transformative. It sounds morbid, but it's actually the ultimate cure for overthinking. Because when you truly remember that your time is limited, most of what you worry about reveals itself as trivial. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This wasn't meant to depress you, it was meant to liberate you. Every moment you spend worrying about what someone thinks of you is a moment you'll never get back. Every hour lost to overthinking a decision is an hour stolen from your finite existence. Death is the great clarifier. When you remember your mortality, you stop sweating the small stuff because you realize it's almost all small stuff. That grudge you're holding, life's too short. That fear of embarrassment, meaningless in the face of mortality. That need for everything to be perfect, impossible and exhausting when you could be living instead. Here's how to practice this daily. Each morning, remind yourself that this day is not guaranteed. This could be your last sunrise, your last conversation, your last chance to tell someone you love them. Not to create anxiety, but to create urgency about what matters. When you catch yourself overthinking something, ask, "If I had 6 months to live, would this concern me?" The answer cuts through confusion like a sword. Most worries die in the face of that question. What remains is what's truly important: your relationships, your character, your contribution, your presence. The Stoics didn't remember death to become gloomy. They remembered death to become alive. When you know your time is limited, You stop wasting it on mental torture. You stop postponing joy, avoiding difficult conversations or obsessing over things that won't matter when you're gone. Your mortality isn't your enemy. It's your teacher, reminding you that this moment matters. Stop overthinking it. Start living it. Imagine waking up tomorrow and the noise in your head has quieted. Not because your circumstances have changed, but because you've changed your relationship with them. You still face challenges, but you're no longer drowning in imaginary ones. This is the transformation that awaits you on the other side of these 7 habits. You'll notice it first in small moments. You receive a critical email, and instead of spiraling for hours, you read it, assess what's in your control, and respond calmly. You face an uncertain situation, and instead of catastrophizing, you stay present with what's actually happening. Someone's opinion of you starts to bother you, and you catch yourself. Then let it go because you remember what actually matters. Your mind becomes a tool you use rather than a tyrant you serve. You sleep better because you're not replaying the past or rehearsing the future. You make decisions faster because you've trained yourself to distinguish between real concerns and phantom fears. You engage more fully in conversations because you're not simultaneously running worst-case simulations in the background. The people around you notice something different. You're calmer, more present, less reactive. You've stopped volunteering for suffering that hasn't been assigned to you. You've discovered what the Stoics knew, that peace isn't found in perfect circumstances, but in a disciplined mind. This doesn't mean you'll never worry again. You're human. But worry will no longer be your default state. It'll be a visitor, not a resident, and when it comes, you'll have 7 powerful practices to escort it out. The life you want, the serene, purposeful, present life, isn't on the other side of solving all your problems. It's on the other side of changing how you relate to them, and that transformation starts the moment you decide to practice these habits. The moment you decide is now. You don't have to master all 7 habits today. You just have to start with one. Pick the habit that resonated most deeply. Maybe it's the dichotomy of control, maybe it's present moment awareness, and practice it for the next week. Just one. Give it your full attention. The Stoics believed that philosophy wasn't something you studied, it was something you lived. These aren't intellectual exercises to admire from a distance. They're daily practices that reshape your mind through repetition. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations to publish them. He wrote them to remind himself, day after day, how to live well. Start today. Start now. Your future self, the one who's no longer imprisoned by worry and overthinking, is waiting for you to take the first step. If you're done letting worry steal your peace and you're ready to reclaim your mind, leave a comment below. I am in control. And don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Mode and turn on notifications. This is just the beginning of your transformation. Thank you for being here. Stay grounded.